What if the secret to living past 100 wasn't hidden in expensive treatments, but in the simplest things you do every single day? What if true longevity wasn't about chasing miracle cures, but about quiet, consistent habits that strengthen both body and spirit over a lifetime? And what if the keys to vitality had already been discovered, practiced for generations in small villages where men and women thrive well beyond a century? In the mountains and coastal towns of Japan, researchers have uncovered remarkable daily practices among people who have gracefully defied the aging process. These elders don't depend on miracle drugs, trendy supplements, or extreme diets. Instead, their strength comes from everyday choices. Subtle routines so natural they hardly notice them, yet powerful enough to sustain vitality decade after decade. In this video, we'll explore 8 everyday practices followed by men and women in Japan's famous longevity villages. These insights are drawn from real studies of people who have lived past 100 with both strength and grace. Stay with me until the end, because you'll see how adopting these habits with intention can help you live not only longer, but with more energy, more joy, and a renewed sense of purpose every single day. Now, let's begin. Number 1. Natural daily movement. One of the most powerful habits shared by people over 100 in Japan's longevity regions is their effortless way of staying active from morning until evening. They don't buy gym memberships, follow strict workout schedules, or chase intense exercise trends. Instead, movement is naturally woven into daily life, tending gardens, walking to visit neighbors, sweeping porches, and preparing meals by hand. These simple, rhythmic actions keep their bodies engaged, flexible, and strong without ever feeling like exercise in the traditional sense. This gentle and consistent way of moving keeps their bodies strong and flexible without the strain or exhaustion that often comes with formal exercise programs. More importantly, it supports heart health, keeps the joints supple, and helps maintain energy levels that remain surprisingly high well into later years. Psychologically, this natural activity nurtures a sense of independence, confidence, and vitality that structured exercise routines often cannot provide. Instead of treating exercise as another item to check off a list, movement flows naturally as an enjoyable part of daily life. There is no pressure to meet a performance goal, no competition, just a quiet and steady rhythm that promotes health without demanding anything extraordinary. Think about Tom, an 84-year-old from Okinawa, who still takes several walks each day through his small vegetable garden. He tends to each plant with careful attention, bending, reaching, and walking with ease. His movements aren't rushed or forced. They are simply woven into the fabric of his life, a natural extension of his routine that keeps him connected both to the earth and to his own inner strength. In contrast to today's focus on high-intensity workouts and strict fitness goals, these long-lived individuals show us something remarkable. Simple, regular movement may provide a far more sustainable and lasting path to well-being. Every purposeful step, every daily chore done with intention, adds up over time to create a lifetime of vitality. Rather than thinking of movement as a separate task that requires carving out extra time, consider how you might naturally build it into your day. Could it be a short walk after meals, gentle stretching while watching television, or light gardening and household chores done with mindfulness and care? These are the quiet actions that, over the years, can make all the difference. All of these small, steady actions nourish both the body and the mind without placing any strain on them. Longevity here is not about running marathons or pushing through exhausting workouts. It's about moving often, moving naturally, and allowing motion to become as effortless and essential to daily life as breathing itself. Number 2 is eating until about 80% full. This deeply rooted practice, known in Japan as hara hachibu, is one of the most consistent habits found among people who live past 100 in the country's longevity villages. The idea is simple but powerful. Stop eating when you feel satisfied, not stuffed. By practicing this gentle restraint, they give their bodies exactly what is needed. No more, no less. Rather than rushing through meals or piling their plates too high, they eat slowly, savoring the flavors, textures, and colors of each bite. They pay attention to the body's quiet signals of fullness, noticing the subtle moment when enough is truly enough. This mindful approach helps prevent overeating, protects digestive health, and keeps unnecessary weight gain at bay, all without ever feeling like a restrictive diet or form of deprivation. Psychologists have long observed that it takes the brain about 20 minutes to fully register feelings of fullness. That means by eating slowly and stopping before absolute fullness, you give your body the time it needs to communicate its true signals. Doesn't it make sense to pause and let your body's wisdom guide you? This single habit can prevent the cycle of mindless overeating that often leads to long-term health problems. Take Helen, for example, a 79-year-old woman from a small Japanese town who has lived by this principle since childhood, without even needing to think about it. Her meals are simple yet vibrant, filled with vegetables, grains, and gratitude. She eats until she feels comfortable, never stuffed, and she always leaves the table energized rather than sluggish. It's not about counting every calorie or following strict numbers. Instead, it's about honoring balance and paying attention to the natural rhythms of the body. For many of us who are used to finishing everything on the plate or eating until we feel completely full, making this shift might seem small at first. But over time, practicing hara-hachi-bu can completely transform your relationship with food into something gentler, more nourishing, and deeply satisfying. Choosing to stop when you feel almost full isn't about discipline or restriction. It's about allowing your body the space to function at its best. This practice becomes a daily act of kindness toward yourself, one that rewards you not only in how light and energized you feel after each meal, but also in how well your body continues to sustain you over the years. Isn't it worth pausing to give your body that gift? If you're still watching this video and finding these insights helpful, I'd love for you to comment the number 2 below to let me know you're here with me. And if you haven't subscribed yet, now is the perfect time. Be sure to hit subscribe and turn on the notification bell so you never miss valuable health content. Your support encourages us to keep creating meaningful videos to inform and inspire you. Now, let's move on to number 3. Maintaining strong social connections. One of the most striking common threads among people who live past 100 in Japan's longevity villages is their deep, daily connection with others. They don't live isolated or lonely lives. Instead, they weave rich, supportive relationships into the very fabric of everyday life. Whether through family gatherings, neighborhood visits, or simply enjoying a warm conversation over a cup of tea, social connection is never treated as a luxury. It's a necessity. It's a necessity, every bit as vital to long life as good food or daily movement. These relationships provide emotional support, practical help, shared laughter, and a deep sense of belonging that nourishes the spirit just as much as the body. Research has shown that loneliness can be as harmful to health as smoking or obesity, while strong social ties help protect against depression, cognitive decline, and even serious physical illnesses. In Japan's longevity villages, friendships and family bonds serve as a protective force that stretches far beyond simple companionship. Take George, for example, an 82-year-old man living in a quiet coastal village. Every afternoon, he makes it a point to visit his neighbors. Sometimes he lends a hand repairing a gate, other times he swaps vegetables from his garden, and often he simply sits with friends to watch the sunset. These small but consistent interactions create a strong safety net of care, support, and purpose woven throughout his life. Maintaining meaningful connections doesn't require throwing big parties or making endless phone calls. It can be as simple as stopping by a neighbor's home, joining a local club, attending a weekly gathering, or setting aside time to check in with family on a regular basis. After the age of 60, relationships become more precious, not less. Isn't it worth asking yourself who you can reach out to today? Investing both time and heart into relationships isn't just about being social. It's about creating a web of life that holds you up, encourages you to keep moving forward, and makes each day richer and more meaningful. The truth is, human connection may be one of the most powerful medicines we have, and in Japan's longevity villages, it is prescribed freely, generously, and often. Number 4 is following a primarily plant-based diet. One of the most consistent findings in Japan's longevity villages is the simple yet powerful way people nourish their bodies through meals that are built overwhelmingly around plants. Their daily food pattern emphasizes vegetables, fruits, whole grains, legumes, and sea vegetables. Fish is enjoyed in small, modest portions, while meat is reserved for special occasions, rather than being part of everyday meals. Their plates are naturally colorful and full of variety, centered on foods rich in nutrients, but gentle on the body. Instead of heavy, processed dishes, their meals are light, vibrant, and deeply satisfying without being overwhelming or excessive. Doesn't it make sense that food so simple and fresh could create such lasting health? Nutrition experts around the world agree that a diet focused on plant-based foods supports heart health, reduces inflammation, improves digestion, and lowers the risk of chronic diseases such as diabetes and cancer. But in Japan's longevity villages, this isn't a fad or a temporary health kick. It's simply the way life has always been lived. Consider Dorothy, an 80-year-old woman from a small mountain town. She grows much of her own food and fills her table with sweet potatoes, leafy greens, tofu, miso soup, and small portions of freshly caught fish. Each meal reflects a balance between nourishment and simplicity. There are no strict rules, no obsessive restrictions, just a natural rhythm of eating what the earth provides in a way that feels nourishing, sustainable, and deeply connected to the seasons. Transitioning to a plant-focused diet doesn't mean giving up every food you love. It simply means letting vegetables, fruits, and whole foods take center stage while treating richer, heavier items as occasional accents rather than daily staples. Over time, this quiet shift can transform not only physical health, but also the way we experience and enjoy food itself. This way of eating provides more than just physical health benefits. It fosters a deeper connection to the seasons, to the land, and to the simple joy of meals that are both delicious and life-giving. Each plate becomes a reminder that true longevity doesn't come from miracle foods or the latest fad diets. Instead, it is built on the quiet, steady decision to nourish your body with what genuinely sustains it over the years. If you're still here watching and finding these insights valuable, I'd love for you to comment the number 4 below so I know you're with me. And if you haven't subscribed yet, now is the perfect time. Be sure to subscribe and turn on the notification bell so you won't miss any of our upcoming videos. Your support is what allows us to keep creating meaningful content to inform and inspire you. Now, let's move to number 5. Having a strong sense of purpose. Among those who live well past 100 in Japan's longevity villages, there is one invisible thread that connects them all, a clear and enduring reason to keep going. They wake up each morning with the knowledge that there is something they are meant to do, someone they are meant to care for, and a reason their presence in the world still matters. This feeling is known in Japan as ikigai, a profound sense of meaning that gives shape and energy to daily life. And the beauty of ikigai is that it doesn't need to be anything grand or extraordinary. For some, it's tending to a small garden with care and patience. For others, it might be passing down traditional crafts to the younger generation, preparing nourishing meals for family, or simply showing up at a community gathering to share stories and laughter. Psychologists have found that having a strong sense of purpose is closely tied to lower rates of depression, greater resilience against illness, and even a reduced risk of early death. Purpose acts like an emotional anchor. It steadies the heart and mind, even when life inevitably brings challenges. Consider Frank, a 77-year-old man from a coastal village who has found his purpose in caring for the public flower garden outside the local temple. Rain or shine, he tends to it with love and patience, knowing that his small daily act brings beauty and joy to everyone who passes by. That feeling of belonging, of making a meaningful contribution, breathes life and vitality into every single day. Doesn't it make sense that even simple acts of purpose can transform how we experience aging? The truth is, finding or renewing your sense of purpose doesn't need to be complicated. It might be as small as helping a neighbor carry groceries, writing heartfelt letters to old friends, learning a new skill, or simply deciding to greet each morning with kindness. After 60, when many of life's major milestones are already behind us, purpose doesn't vanish, it evolves. It becomes more personal, more profound, and more deeply connected to what truly matters in the heart. Cultivating purpose isn't about keeping busy for the sake of activity. It's about staying connected to the reasons your life still carries meaning, the reasons your heart continues to beat with hope and direction each day. Number 6 is spending time outdoors. In Japan's longevity villages, one of the most consistent yet often overlooked daily habits is incredibly simple. They make time to be outside. Whether it's walking through the rice fields, sitting peacefully on a porch, gathering vegetables from the garden, or simply breathing in the crisp morning air. Being outdoors is not reserved for weekends or special occasions. It is woven naturally into the fabric of daily life, and this regular connection to nature provides much more than fresh air alone. Spending time outdoors does more than provide fresh air. It helps regulate circadian rhythms, improves mood, lowers blood pressure, and eases mental fatigue. Sunlight also supports the production of vitamin D, which strengthens bones, bolsters immune function, and contributes to emotional well-being, all of which become increasingly important as we age. But there's also something deeper at work. Nature reminds us of our place in the world, of the cycles and seasons, of beauty that asks nothing from us except to pause and be present. Being outside encourages slower breathing, quiet reflection, and a kind of peace that cannot be found under artificial light or on a screen. Consider Shirley, an 80-year-old woman from a small mountain village. Each day, she begins and ends with a walk along the narrow forest path near her home. She doesn't walk far, nor does she walk quickly, but she walks with intention. As she moves, she listens to the birdsong, notices the colors of changing leaves, and greets neighbors tending their gardens. This gentle ritual isn't about exercise or performance. It's about grounding herself in the rhythm of the natural world. Isn't it amazing how something so simple can bring such profound calm? For those of us who spend most of our hours indoors, reintroducing nature into daily routines doesn't require a dramatic lifestyle change. A short walk after lunch, sitting on a porch or balcony with a warm cup of tea, tending a few potted plants, or even standing barefoot on the grass for just a few moments, can soothe the nervous system and lift the spirit. These quiet practices aren't always scheduled or planned, but they breathe life into our days. And in Japan's longest living communities, these moments with nature are treated as essential, never optional. They remind us that sometimes the true path to longevity doesn't run through a gym or a pharmacy, it runs through the garden gate. If you're still here watching and finding these insights helpful, please comment the number 6 below so I know you're with me. And if you haven't subscribed yet, I encourage you to subscribe and turn on the notification bell so you won't miss any future videos. Your support is what allows us to continue creating content designed to inform, inspire, and empower. Now, let's move on to number 7, engaging in daily stress-reducing rituals. One of the most quietly powerful habits observed among centenarians in Japan's longevity villages is their consistent commitment to practices that calm the nervous system and restore inner balance. These rituals look different for everyone. Some begin the day with a short prayer, others immerse themselves in the slow grace of a tea ceremony, while many turn to meditation, lighting incense, or taking deliberate, mindful breaths. What unites them is this: a conscious pause, a moment of stillness, a daily return to center. Doesn't it make sense that taking even a few minutes to breathe and reset could transform the way we face the day? Unlike stress management strategies that only appear in moments of crisis, these rituals are preventative. They don't wait for the tension to build until it becomes overwhelming. Instead, they dissolve stress before it takes root. This steady discipline protects emotional health, supports heart function, lowers cortisol levels, and builds resilience against the unavoidable challenges life brings. There is deep wisdom in choosing to slow down, especially in a world that constantly pushes us to move faster, do more, and never stop. The centenarians of Japan show us that it is in the stillness, not in the rush, where lasting strength and peace are found. When you engage in a simple act of mindfulness, it's not just calming, it's deeply healing. It sends a powerful message to your body. You are safe, you are supported, you can rest here. Take Walter, an 85-year-old man from a quiet fishing town. Every morning, before saying a word to anyone, he lights a candle and sits in silence with his thoughts for 10 minutes. It's not dramatic, nor is it meant to impress anyone. For him, it is sacred. This daily ritual allows him to collect himself, ground his energy, and begin the day on his own terms. That seemingly tiny habit has given Walter the strength to face grief, adapt to change, and manage illness with more calm and clarity than many people half his age. Doesn't it make you wonder what a simple practice like this could do in your own life? And the truth is, it's never too late to begin. You don't need hours of meditation or special tools. It could be as little as 5 minutes of quiet, steady breathing. It might be journaling a few thoughts, sipping tea while watching the trees sway in the breeze, or simply sitting in stillness and noticing your surroundings. What matters most isn't the activity itself, but the intention behind it. These small practices don't require expertise or complicated steps. They ask only that you pause and be present. Again and again, the lives of the longest living people prove that peace isn't something you stumble upon. It's something you intentionally create, one quiet moment at a time. Number 8 is maintaining consistent sleep and wake routines. Another gentle but powerful habit observed among those who live past 100 in Japan's longevity villages is their commitment to regular sleep patterns. They rise with the sun, they slow down as night falls, and they follow the natural rhythm of the day rather than pushing against it. This regular rhythm helps stabilize the body's internal clock, known as the circadian rhythm, which plays a crucial role in regulating metabolism, hormone levels, immune function, and even emotional balance. It isn't necessarily about sleeping longer hours. It's about sleeping smarter. It's about giving the body and brain the deep, restorative rest they need to heal, rebuild, and rejuvenate so that energy, focus, and vitality remain strong throughout the day. Modern science now confirms what the people in these villages have quietly practiced for generations. Irregular sleep patterns, staying up too late one night, then sleeping in the next, can disrupt the body far more than many of us realize. Over time, this inconsistency increases the risk of heart disease, depression, and cognitive decline. And it can even shorten lifespan. Isn't it striking how something as simple as regular sleep can make such a profound difference? Consider Ruth, an 81-year-old from a rural village, who still rises before the sun to tend to her small herb garden. Each evening, she retires naturally, around 8 or 9 p.m., without ever needing an alarm clock. Her body simply knows the rhythm. This steady routine keeps her energy balanced, her mind sharp, and her spirit grounded in the sustaining cycles of the natural world. Establishing a consistent sleep and wake routine doesn't mean rigidly forcing yourself into bed at the exact same minute every night. Rather, it's about honoring a steady pattern, allowing your body to trust the rhythm of rest and renewal. Over time, this gentle consistency can become one of the most powerful gifts you give yourself for both health and longevity. It's about creating gentle routines that signal to your body when it's time to rest and when it's time to rise. Small actions such as using soft lighting in the evenings, having a quiet wind-down ritual, or avoiding heavy meals late at night may seem minor, but they add up over time. These choices help prepare the body for rest, make it easier to fall asleep, and allow you to wake with greater ease, clarity, and energy the next morning. In Japan's longevity villages, sleep is never seen as a luxury or something to squeeze into a busy schedule. It is treated with the quiet respect it deserves, as one of the most important pillars of lifelong health, vitality, and resilience. Doesn't it make sense that the way we treat our nights ultimately shapes the strength of our days? As we wrap up today's video, take a moment to reflect on the 8 powerful daily habits we've explored together. Which of these simple practices resonates with you the most? Which one feels like something you could start weaving into your own life right now? We'd love to hear from you, so leave a comment below sharing one thing you've learned and how you plan to apply it to create a longer, richer, and more vibrant life. Remember, longevity is not built on grand gestures or impossible routines. It is shaped through quiet, steady, daily choices. The natural movement that keeps the body strong, the smaller balanced meals that nourish without excess, the meaningful connections that uplift the spirit, and the moments of peace that calm the mind. These are the building blocks of a life resilient enough to carry you past 100 years. No matter where you are on your journey, it is never too late to begin. Even the smallest step today can guide you toward a life that feels lighter, brighter, and more deeply alive. You deserve that kind of life. You always have. Thank you for spending your time with us today. We'd love to hear from you, so leave a comment below sharing one insight you've taken from this video and how you plan to use it in your own life. Your reflections are valuable to us, and reading them gives us encouragement and motivation to keep creating meaningful content. If you found this video useful and inspiring, please remember to like, subscribe, and share it with others. Your support helps us continue bringing you content designed to inform, uplift, and empower. Wishing you good health, lasting happiness, and peace in your days. And don't forget to subscribe to our channel so you never miss the next video.